Friday evening, I'm heading north for the weekend, heading to North Carolina in the midst of coronavirus. Planned it all out. I won't have to make any stops. I've got all my food and drinks, and the only thing I have to stop for is gas when I need it, but I got gloves for that. Shouldn't have to have any interactions with anybody, hopefully, if all goes as planned. It's about a 6-hour drive. It's got me getting there about a little after, well, between 12:30 right now, so not too bad of a drive. Kill that corona. Sanitize your phone on accident. All right, so here we go. See if we can get up there safely, get a few hours of sleep, get up, find a mountain bird. It's supposed to be 27 up there tonight. I don't think I can hunt on Sunday anyway, but we've got a big line of storms coming through. A span said it could be pretty severe across central Alabama, central Mississippi, that area. Could be some violent tornadoes, so I guess I'll have to drive back Sunday through all that. It's supposed to have a pretty day tomorrow, so we'll try to give it everything we got, get it done. If not, I'll be back next weekend. Time to gas up. Whew, it's a complicated gas pump there. Telling me to hit the skip button. If I don't have a rewards card, ain't no skip button. Now we sanitize. It's cold up here. Truck's telling me it's 46. It was a little colder than that. It was about 66 when I left. We'll pull over here on this exit ramp. We'll eat a little bite. So far so good. Interstate's pretty empty. Cooked me a roast this morning. That way I can have it when I have it this weekend, but I'd have it ready when I got home. This is a roast off an 8-point buck, Alabama buck deer. Got some carrots, peppers, some of these King's Hawaiian rolls. I found out you split that thing open, get you a chunk, put some peppers on there, throw a carrot. I love these carrots. They soak up all this juice. I've been told this is a Mississippi roast, but I ain't Mississippi. Sandwich. I'm gonna do that awkward thing where I take a bite like on the food shows and then give you some kind of audible noise. It's hard to beat. Put that roast in there. I filled this thing up. It's a Yeti. I filled it up before I left the house. That was about 5 o'clock. It's been about 3.5 hours. That stuff was still piping hot coming out of there. Pretty aggravated right now. Been driving right at 6 hours, I guess. I'm within, hold on, I'll give you an exact estimate. 700 yards from where I needed to be. 700 yards. And guess what? I hit a checkpoint. There was a nice lady that asked me where I was headed. Didn't check ID, didn't check temperature, any of that crap. Told her I came up here to turkey hunt from Alabama. The lady on the phone from the licensing office told me everything was good. Told me the area that I wanted to hunt was okay. Bought my license. So she said, do you want to talk to the deputy or the officer? I said, yes, ma'am. So she went and got him. Nice guy. Told me he was a turkey hunter as well. Told me he hated it, but they can't allow anyone that's not a resident into the county. And this is one of the few counties that is doing it in the state. 700 yards from where I wanted to be. It's currently 12:35, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. I have no idea. Now, this is so stupid.
So where were you?
This is where doing your homework and studying your maps ahead of time really pays off. I had spent many hours studying on these maps, off and on for a couple months probably. I had to pull over and collect my thoughts, start looking at my maps and seeing what kind of pins I had in the area. So when I pulled over, I felt like I needed a second opinion on things, so I called my good buddy Jared, and being the good friend that he is, he answered, even though it was about midnight. Even though he wasn't hunting North Carolina the next day, we put our heads together and looked the maps over pretty good, and ultimately decided it'd be best if I drove about another hour or hour and a half to get to a totally new area. So that's what I did in the middle of the night. Finally made it to a spot. It's 5:48 Eastern time. Had to completely change plans, scrambled around and picked another spot on the map. I don't know anything about it. I gotta start getting ready here at some point. Kind of dreading it because truck's saying 28 degrees. It's pretty nippy. So I found a gas station last night or a few hours ago. Never really felt comfortable, so I just kept my truck running and had my doors locked, and I dozed off and on for about an hour and a half, so I'm running on empty right now. All that'll go away if the turkey will gobble. Drove back in here, and I've already seen one truck at a gate on the way in. And as I'm sitting here, another one drove by me, so it makes me feel decent, like there's probably turkeys around here, so I just hope there's not too many people that come in here. But anyway, I got about a 500-yard walk to get to where I want to kind of listen from, and then from there I should be able to make my way. It's not really a ridge, I guess, that I'm going down, but there's a trail through the woods that's gonna take me through several different drainages and stuff, so I'm hoping I can hear one and I'll go from there. Stay tuned. Owl's starting to hoot. Passed one truck on the way in. I've had 3 come by me since I've been here, which tells me must be turkeys here. The morning started off pretty slow. I only heard a handful of gobbles, so I started heading towards one I thought I might could get to. I felt like the gobbler was still out ahead of me somewhere. I just wanted to see if I was within striking distance of him before I walked up on him. Turkey just gobbled way over there. Turns out the turkey I was hearing all morning is across a big river. So I'll follow this finger out. Try to get to a little bench out here. See if I can get him to fly. I'm trying to get as close as I can to this bird, so while I'm moving towards him, walking out towards the end of this finger, I'm calling along the way and crunching in these leaves pretty loud to try to convince him that there's a real hen over here. I want to convince him to fly across this river to me. Looks like I might have to go around and meet him. Dang. It's about a 2.5 mile walk, several mile drive. It's gonna take me 30-45 minutes to get over there probably. He ain't really that far. Should probably get a glove on. I think I'm just gonna go to him. It'll take me a while, but I'll get there. He's just not gobbling like he's in a hurry to go anywhere. He might have some hens with him. He'll answer me every once in a while, but I gotta kind of pull it out of him. But I think if I get on his side, I might can do something with him. On my way out, the turkey just gobbled on his own. I think he was that way. Sound like it was 2 of them. I gotta drop down before they see me. Must have walked right by them suckers this morning. This is going to be a tough setup because everything is so loud, everything is so dry, the leaves are so crunchy, the woods are wide open, there's not many places to hide. The sun is bright, so the turkeys are across the saddle from me. I decided to get the sun at my back, and really the only place that I could hide was in the shadow of a big tree. You can kind of tell that I picked one of the bigger trees I could find based on the width of the shadow out in front of me. I tried to get about a good shotgun distance from the saddle in front of me, hoping that they would come down the road or step out in the road in front of me. Based on the fact that these two turkeys gobbled on their own in the middle of the morning and then gobbled at my owl hoot immediately, I figured they'd jump all over a call, but they did not. So I figured I'd just be patient and sit tight for a little bit. I start hearing what I think is leaves crunching in the distance. Definitely turkey footsteps in the leaves. It's getting louder. Now comes the tricky part. Sounds like they're walking straight towards me, so I need to figure out where they're going to pop up in the road so I don't have to move when they do. I would rather err on the side of being too far right than too far left because I can always swing left pretty easy. North Carolina. Thanks, buddy. Wow. So basically I was gonna loop around and try to go to that turkey over there by the water. And as I was quick walking out, came up on this little high spot, and while I was walking I heard a turkey gobble up ahead of me somewhere, like pretty close. So I took a few more steps to get to where I could pinpoint, and I hooted and two turkeys gobbled right across there. So I knew if I came down this road they were gonna see me. So I fell off that back side over there and sat up by that tree and hoped I could kind of call them to this road somewhere. I didn't know if they were going to take the road and follow it down this way or if they were just going to pop up right here. And so I sat down and I did some soft stuff and they didn't answer. And I think I yelped loud a time or two and they didn't answer, which, I thought was strange because they just gobbled twice. I said, oh well, I'll just be patient. Maybe I'll hear them drumming or something in a second. It seemed like it was 30 seconds later. It could have been a minute or something, but it was pretty quick. I heard them walking in the leaves towards me. And they were down in this bottom. They were going to come to the road right here. And so looking over this rise from where I'm at, I'm trying to course them and trying to pick where they're going to come up on the rise. I picked pretty close to right. The first one stepped out behind this stump right here and walked across the road, going to my left, kind of walking up the hill. And I was kind of waiting on him to strut or gobble or something, and he didn't. I had picked a tree where I was in the shadow of it. I felt like I was pretty hidden, for being in the wide open. Then his buddy stepped out behind him, and they started walking up the hill. I moved one time to get on him when he went behind the tree, and he was getting to where he was going to be pretty difficult to shoot. And they started putting and kind of, I don't know if they were running when I shot or trotting or what, but they were getting out of there. And so I couldn't shoot for a second because they were lined up. Didn't want to kill two in one shot. The one furthest away sped up and got out from in line of the first one. The first one kind of hesitated for just a second, and I shot, and he went down. Very thankful for this bird. First time I've ever hunted in North Carolina. First North Carolina gobbler. It's a nice bird, probably a 2-year-old, just the way I like them. Man, it's a beautiful day. It started off and it was frigid. Man, it was 27 when I left the truck. I think I had snot coming out of my nose, but I couldn't feel it. And my toes are just now getting to where they're not numb, but it's supposed to get on up in the mid-60s today. Man, it's so pretty out here. I just FaceTimed my dad, and he killed a bird we've been hunting for a while. It's had some pretty good hooks on him. I don't know how long they were, but we don't typically see too many of them around where we hunt anymore. Most of them just 2-year-olds, but Dad got him old limb hanger today. So I FaceTimed him, and he told me the story and everything and told me all about it, and then said, well, did you do any good? So I flipped it around, and he saw the turkey, and he was pretty excited. I told him the first few turkeys I killed in Alabama, I guess I was getting to where I was going a little earlier. I'd be just standing there kind of in the dark waiting on the bird to gobble, and kind of just catch myself just looking at the sky, and I don't know, I just got to where I'd just say, thank you, Lord, for this or that. And a lot of times I just thank him for the opportunity to hunt, the ability, my health, my family, all of that sort of stuff, and thank you for these birds to chase. And I just kind of reel off whatever was on my mind, and when I started doing that, this probably happened 3 or 4 different times. I'm not making this up. As soon as I'd look up at the sky and I'd close my eyes, I'd say, thank you, Lord. Sometimes it would happen right then. Sometimes I'd say something else, but like 3 or 4 different times during that little prayer, a turkey would gobble for the first time of the morning. It's not coincidence. It was too weird to be coincidence. Like, to me, that was the good Lord kind of giving me a sign, like, I got you. Everything's okay. These birds are still here for you to hunt. He put them on this earth for us to hunt and enjoy, and they're still out here doing their thing every day. In the midst of all this coronavirus and everything, that ought to give, some people some hope. Of course, turkey hunters will be the main ones that get it, but these birds hadn't changed any. God's still in control. He's got this. And I'll be danged if I didn't get out of the truck. I walked a couple 100 yards this morning, and I was standing there, and it was starting to get light. I'd heard an owl or two. I caught myself doing the same thing. Just closed my eyes. I said, thank you, Lord. Thank you for the opportunity to hunt. Something else. A turkey gobbled in the distance as soon as I said it. Not kidding at all. It was 6:37 a.m. Still really dark. And to me, that was a sign from him, because I didn't hear another bird for 12 minutes. I didn't hear anything for 12 minutes after that. I don't know. It's just kind of reassurance to me that he's still in control, and he's guiding me on this journey that I'm on. And, I'm not ashamed to admit that.